For joining me for quick business tips. I'm Jennifer Swineford with Limitless Impact Agency, and today we're going to talk about the money conversation. You've just had an amazing discovery or sales call with a brand new potential client. You've connected with them on an emotional level, and they love what you've had to say. Then comes the moment where you have to talk about dollars. And if you are selling a higher ticket product or service and the price tag feels like a pretty big chunk of money, it can be a little bit more difficult, especially for business leaders and salespeople who tend to lead with their heart and they don't want to sound like that slimy, salesy type of person that we've all dealt with in the past. They don't want to be pushy and they want to be able to state that they have this premium price with unshakable confidence and make it sound like the next natural logical step for this client. And sometimes it doesn't always work out. So that's what we're going to be talking about today. But before we can even get to how you go about laying out whatever the price tag is, you need to do some deep work within yourself. Because if you are not rock solid in your own value, your own worth, then that lack of confidence is going to shine on and off like a bright neon sign. And so you need to make two mental shifts to really make this unshakable confidence something that you can pull off on a regular basis. First, you have to understand your own value. It's not about trading time for money. So it's not about how many hours you put in to spending time with the customer or how many hours goes into your deliverable. It's about the end result or the transformation that you provide to your clients every day. So you need to understand what profound problem you solve for this customer and the incredible results that you get for them. And not only understanding it, but really grasping the impact that your work has, not only on their business, but also on their personal life. And you need to get super clear on this and internalize that value so deep within your core that this becomes a completely unshakable belief. The second thing that helps with your confidence is to recognize what we call a service imperative. So if you, with all of your amazing expertise, your integrity, the trust that you have built, and the genuine care that you have for your customers, if you do not confidently offer your solution to these potential clients that have the problem that you solve, somebody else is going to. They are going to make an offer to your client that might sound just as good or better than yours. And they might not have the same competence that you have, and they may not have the same servant's heart that you have. Because the reality is, the best service or the best product isn't always the one that wins in the marketplace. More often than not, it is the business that has the best marketing and the most confident sales approach. And even if what they're offering costs more, has a lower value, and is, coming from a person who just isn't going to deliver on the promises that they make, that person can make a lot more sales because they are coming at it with the confidence that you need to have. So if you can't find within yourself the true value that you offer your clients with like instant, unshakable confidence, at least remember that if you are not doing this and making this offer and offering this service for the amount of money that you are charging for it, somebody else is going to, and they may not serve your client as well. And a lot of times, thinking about it that way will help people get over this lack of confidence hurdle. So once you've anchored these two beliefs inside you, then you can discuss the price as simply an extension of your commitment to offer a servant's heart type of service to your client. There is a little bit of strategy involved, so let's talk about that. Before you ever mention a price, you need to help a client connect with the value of the solution that you're offering from their point of view. So we talked about in last week's episode that a discovery call needs to be a lot more about questions and answers. And that's where this value anchoring is going to start. Two really powerful questions that you can ask during the discovery call is, if this problem were just completely resolved, what would that be worth to you and your business? Now, they might talk to you about a financial upside or time saved or stress relief, or they might talk about how it's going to improve their personal relationships outside of work. The other question that you can ask is, imagine for a moment that we're 6 months or a year down the road, and this problem that you're trying to solve is completely resolved. And you are now feeling whatever feeling they've already told you previously that they want to feel when they resolve this problem. Ask them what specifically is different. So they are going to picture themselves in the future and get really connected emotionally to specific changes that they believe will take place once this problem is solved. In these two questions, you have allowed them to paint a picture for themselves, the immense value that your service is going to provide for them. So when you do present your price, it's no longer just a number that's thrown on the table without any padding or net for it to land on. Your price instead becomes an investment that they can weigh against the benefits that they've already pictured for themselves. So now that you've done the internal work in yourself and you've laid this price value anchoring groundwork with this potential client, the time has come in the conversation to actually state the price. So how do you go about doing it without sounding apologetic on the front end? The only thing I can tell you is to confidently and simply state the investment required, given the plan that, again, we talked about last week, you have co-created with them. So they've already laid out what they want from you. Do they want your highest high-end value program, or do they want one of your basic, you know, lower end products? And typically they're not picking a product because you probably haven't laid them all out. They're probably picking the result that they want. So you just simply say the price. Cool. So I've heard that you want help fixing this problem, and this is where you see yourself once the problem's fixed. I charge X number of dollars for this, or X number of dollars per month, or whatever your program costs. So you need to be very clear. The other thing is, no apologies, no hesitation. You're just giving them a price. You, a lot of times, will decide that your price is too high or they don't have the money. And you know what it turns out? They were expecting to pay double that. So by coming in with apologies, they're wondering what's wrong. If you just state it clearly and confidently, like there it is, and just let it sit in silence, They are not instantly going to pick up on your uncomfortability or your apology or your hesitation and think that there's something wrong with the price. And this is part of like a detachment from the outcome that is really helpful, especially when you are trying to avoid what I like to call, and I've heard other people call, this isn't a term I made up myself, but it's commission breath, right? So if you are desperate, you haven't made a sale all month, you're really scrambling here, you really need them to say yes. A lot of times you can come off with commission breath. Don't want to have that. You want to be detached from whatever answer it is and just focus on clarity and confidence. Then, if you need to, or if they start asking what that includes, you can lay out the benefits of the program more so than the features. I see a lot of coaches, especially, and service business salespeople where they want to lay out, okay, so we're going to meet twice a month for 90 minutes. We're going to do this. There's going to include that. Like, great. Where's the so that? We're going to meet for twice a month so that there is accountability. There are clear steps along the way. You don't get too far off track by only meeting once a month. Add this so that if you're going to lay out the features or simply lay out the benefits. And don't forget to just let it sit. Like sometimes you can give a price to someone and they just need a minute to figure out which credit card has that amount of money available on it. How can I break this up into payments? Like they might just be doing some figuring in their head, and you being comfortable with the silence is going to be key to really owning that confidence that you've been working on. So once you've stated your price, laid out the benefits, and done it confidently and clearly, there still could be some hesitation. What if they say something like, that's more than I was really expecting, or they want to act, or they want to ask you about some payment options, or, a lot of my clients tend to get a little defensive or they will immediately start discounting. I've even had some of my clients be completely honest with me and tell me that they were discounting before they even got the price out of their mouth. Um, and instead, what I have learned to do, because I used to do this as well, I have learned to lead with some empathetic curiosity. I say, yeah, I totally get it. Money doesn't grow on trees. We all have budget constraints that we have to work with. Tell me where you're struggling here. Tell me where you're not seeing the value, or tell me what's going on in your head other than that's more than I was expecting to pay. And if this isn't like and emotional. I'm unsure if you can deliver on the results, and more of a, I really don't have the money right now, but they are otherwise an ideal client for your business and they really do want the results that you offer. I like to bring in what I like to call some more of the trust building offers or tiered options that I have. So this is not discounting. They are not getting the top end service for a lower price. This is a completely different offer that are either going to offer smaller results or slower results, or it's going to be more of a group offer instead of a one-to-one completely customized. They're still going to see results. It's just not going to be as fast and as complete as the high ticket offer. But what happens in the tiered offers is that they get to experience more of me, learn to trust me and my team more, see the competence, and see some quick results that I can help them get that is going to make them feel like it's a lot less risk to upgrade to that high ticket offer. But this only works if there is a natural upgrade path from one or two lower ticket offerings to the high ticket. If your lower ticket offering is targeting someone that is outside of the high ticket market, like someone who's just starting out, or somebody who has been in business for 10 years and they haven't broke the $1,000 in sale mark yet, they're never going to become your high ticket client, like not in the short term. It's highly unlikely that they would become your high ticket client if your high ticket client is a 7 or 8 figure business owner. So the lower tier offer still needs to be targeting the same market as the high tier offer. Otherwise, you start spreading yourself too thin, creating chaos, creating messiness in your business that I'm going to tell you, you just don't want. It's only going to create frustration for everybody. Now, the key tactic that I like to use when I shift into talking about a lower tier offer, if it really is a budget constraint, I can say, hey, I get it. Like, what I can do is I can offer you this option or this option. In this option, you get none of this, but you will get this. Or this option, you will not receive this, but you will receive this type of result. It'll just take 6 months longer than it would in this higher tier option. Okay, so it's really like what you don't want to do is say, well, I do have this other option. It's cheaper, and lay out the positives of it without laying out any of the things that you're missing out on. Because I've had clients get confused in those situations where they think they're still getting a lot of the benefits from the high ticket, even though I felt like I was clear that they weren't. So I like to come in first with the negatives. Like, you can spend less, you're going to lose all of these things. And then let them decide if the value makes sense to go ahead. But I want all those things. Okay, then this is the price. Like, there's nothing I can do about it. And if you stand firm with that, you will start seeing more success. But one more quick point on this. You can state your value, ensure that you are compensated fairly, which is essential in your ability to continue to run an amazing business that offers amazing service to fantastic clients. Because when it comes down to it, you can't pour from an empty cup. You can't deliver high value services if you're constantly worried about paying your mortgage, buying groceries. This isn't about greed. This is about creating a sustainable service, building an empowered team, and, creating good for everyone. Also, you have no control over what the person on the other side of the table does or says. You do not close any sale ever. You simply lay it out clearly and confidently with a detached from the outcome perspective, and then let them take whatever action they're going to take. The more that you're able to let go of this desire to control someone outside of yourself, the easier these conversations get. Now, if you would like to approach your next sales conversation with more confidence and less ick, here's what I want you to work on today. Take 15 minutes and write out clearly and concisely what transformation and high value outcome your number one core offer delivers. Then practice saying this transformation statement along with the price out loud, confidently, and doing it without any kind of hesitation or apology. Picture yourself sitting across from someone, having the sales conversation and saying, look, This is the outcome I provide. This is how much it costs. And really continue to work at that until you are able to just easy piece of cake, no problem. And if you would like some one-on-one help crafting your own high value offer that clearly articulates your unique value and confidently master some of these sales conversations, that's what I would love to do for you. So please book a free next level call with me, and we will dig into your pricing, your process, and how to make every client interaction feel authentic and effective. I have a link in the show notes. I would love to talk to you. Don't forget to subscribe to Quick Business Tips so that you never miss an episode. And until next time, keep serving authentically and keep striving for your own limitless success.